See, we don't even have to fight. Look how broken this kid is. Holy crap. This kid is so... Hey what's up guys, it's Nerdz, aka Joe, and right now we're doing the first episode of How to Bridge. Now, this one will be covering kits, and I won't be doing all of them at once, because I feel like I can go a little bit more in depth with a few more of the kits, like Berserker and Archer, and a few other kits. So, Appler is going to be a pretty basic episode, because it is one of the most basic kits of Bridges. I think it's the one that takes like the least skill other than Brawler. So let's get into it. So one of the first kits we're going to be covering is Appler, and yeah. So Appler is a free kit, and as you can tell by my tone, it's not good that it's free, because this is probably, in my opinion, the most OP kit in Bridget. So the thing that makes it super OP is its recharge time for Apple Thrower, which, if you didn't know, it's non-existent. It doesn't have a recharge time, so you can just apple spam as fast as you can click. And apples can be gained every 10 seconds, so that's about 6 apples per minute. And if you do that times 10 for the 10 minutes allowed before the bridges spawn, that's about 60 apples. Considering that you're not going to eat too many. You get up to 2 stacks, you can just unload and probably kill a full diamond with a stack or maybe 2. And it is also included in the Food for the Masses achievement. If you can kill 20 players in total with apple, then again, you just have to kill people with no armor if you really want to get this achievement faster. But I will be doing an achievement guide later in the series, so do not fret. There will be an achievement guide even for this. So we've already covered the basic facts you may have already known about Appler, so let's cover how you can use it. So this is definitely one of the Bridges' most OP kits, so there's many ways you can use it to instantly kill people. However, you can use it in other ways than this. For example, it is a complete waste of the kit to just spam without any damage from sword or bow. One way to use it is the insta-kill, starting off with apples, and then going off into like a melee with the player. The reason why this is super OP is because, one, you'll throw the player off and apples will I think they would kind of annoy a player, so they probably start to run, and this is your chance to go in and get those hits from behind. And if they start comboing you, guess what? Apple will save your life as it will save countless others' lives. So Apple will save your life if anything. The other thing you can use Apple for, if you're a little bit more experienced with it, is you can actually use it as a rod. So you can use the apple as a rod that does damage, which is pretty OP if you really get it down. So now there's another way you can use Appler, and it's angling. So angling, what this basically is using your area to your advantage. So it's probably something you want to keep in mind, is that the space where you're doing it is very important. It's best to get at an angle where you can pen your enemies or get them in the water. So the absolute best place to angle, in my opinion, is either the thin bridge on Skylands or that thin bridge on Volcanic that goes to mid. The reason why I feel like the thin bridge on Volcanic might be a little bit better than the one in Skylands, though in Skylands if you hit them off it's instant death, but when it comes to Volcanic, you can easily get the player in the water from this bridge. As you see in the clip here, I got at an angle and I knocked the full diamond and the full iron in the water, simply because there's those little holes to where they'll fall in. So a place like this is very crucial when you're trying to try to get away from a player, or if you're chasing one down. Which brings me to the next point. Apples can be used to actually chase people down. I hope they never add this, but they don't follow the player, luckily. But you can apple spam somebody into the water as they're running away, or you can even knock a Berserker out of mid-leap. The reason why I think Apple is super OP is because of because of this main part. You can stop a player mid-sprint, you can like hold them back and give your teammates time enough to catch up to them. Or you can even hold a player down from trying to get away, because the apples will actually disrupt their sprint, if anything. So now you've heard me talk about the ways you can use Apple. Now let's talk about a few ways we can actually nerf it. For example, if you've ever played the game Dom, as I'm going to show in a clip here, there is a kit called Mage, and they have an ability called Glacial Blade. Now with the Glacial Blade, it's kind of like Apple, except it doesn't like do as much knockback. I imagine if you did increase the speed, maybe you could. But basically, Glacial Blade's max speed is it's a good time. I think it's about 0.2 seconds if you max Glacial Blade out. And I feel like it's a good speed for Apple. Now this may seem weird because you're thinking 0.2 seconds, that's not that long. If anything, it won't be super consistent where you can spam a player and keep them away from you. Because I feel like you should be able to keep a player away from you, but you should be able to escape them if you need to. So now, let's get into gameplay.